Have you ever wondered how much you should explain about your hearing loss when you talk to other people? Should you say nothing and just try to manage? Should you give a full explanation every time? The truth is, neither of those extremes usually works very well. Because in real life, not every conversation requires the same level of explanation. And not every person in your life needs the same level of detail. In fact, one of the most helpful things you can learn is this. There are different levels of awareness, depending on the situation and the relationship you have with the person in front of you. Think of it like a toolbox. Sometimes you only need a small tool. Sometimes you need a bigger one. Let's walk through these different levels together. The first level is what we could call a quick disclosure. This is the short version. Just a few words to make the situation clearer.
You'll often use this with people you don't know well. A cashier, someone at the bakery, a stranger asking a question, or a new acquaintance. In those situations, you don't need a long explanation. You just need to remove the confusion. For example, you might say, "I'm a bit hard of hearing. Could you face me when you speak?" Or, "I didn't catch that. There's a lot of noise here." Simple, direct, efficient. Sometimes you don't even need words at all. If you wear hearing aids or a cochlear implant, a simple gesture pointing to your ear can already help people understand what's happening. Some people also choose small visual cues, like a badge saying "hard of hearing," or accessories that quietly signal their hearing difficulty. These nonverbal signals can sometimes make interactions easier, especially when you are dealing with many people you don't know. But of course, they won't work in every situation. So it's helpful to also have a short sentence ready when you need it.
The second level is what we could call a practical explanation. This usually happens with people you see regularly: co-workers, neighbors, friends, people in your daily environment. These people already know you. They may know you have hearing difficulties, but they may not really know how to help communication work better. This is where a slightly deeper explanation can make a big difference. For example, you might say, "It's easier for me if one person speaks at a time," or, "If you face me when you talk, I understand much better." You don't need to go into medical details. You don't need to talk about audiograms or ear anatomy. You just give the practical information that helps communication flow more smoothly. Over time, these small explanations help people naturally adapt. They learn what works for you. And the result is something very simple. Conversations become less exhausting. Then comes the third level, the personal conversation.
This usually happens with the people closest to you. Your partner, your children, your closest friends. With them, the conversation can go deeper. Because hearing loss is not only about sound, it's about energy, emotions, and connection. You might talk about how tiring long conversations can be, how frustrating it sometimes feels to miss parts of discussions, or how meaningful it is when someone makes small adjustments to include you. These are not technical explanations anymore. They are human conversations. And yes, opening up like this can feel vulnerable. But it can also create something very powerful: understanding. When people truly understand what you experience, they are far more likely to support you in the right way. And sometimes these conversations need to happen more than once. Understanding grows gradually. It's a process of talking, trying things, adjusting, and talking again.
There is also another situation that often surprises people: group conversations. Meetings, family dinners, gatherings with friends. In these situations, conversations move quickly. People interrupt each other. Several voices speak at once. And if no one knows you have hearing difficulties, it's very easy to get lost in the conversation. That's why it can help to set the tone early. For example, you might say at the beginning, "Just so you know, I'm hard of hearing." If people speak one at a time, it helps me follow the conversation.
That simple sentence can completely change the dynamics of the group. Suddenly, people become more aware. They pause more often. They include you more naturally. And here's the most important thing to remember. There is no single correct way to talk about hearing loss. Sometimes you'll say just a few words. Sometimes you'll explain a little more. Sometimes you'll open up emotionally with the people closest to you. The key is not to justify yourself. The goal is simply to make communication easier for you and for the people around you. And when communication becomes easier, something important happens. You stay connected to the conversations, instead of slowly being pushed to the edge of them.